Good morning, everyone. Before I start my day, and as I start to hear the birds chirping, I wanted to talk to you about the power of prayer and how you should use it wisely. Now, in a lot of religious circles, they tell you to make sure that you pray for everyone. But there's a certain responsibility in regards to prayer, and I wanted to talk about this. Now, some of you may not agree with me, but this is a lesson that I had to learn recently. And I now finally understand how powerful prayer is and what it does. Did you realize that when you pray for someone, you're providing an invisible shield around that person? You're providing a shield of protection around that person from harm and danger? Did you know that? And sometimes you could be doing that for someone who does not deserve it. And that can be a problem. Because some people in this world need to have their karma. They need to have that tower hit them because they're not in the place where they need to be. They need to be in a relationship with their Creator. They're not in the right mindset. Their spirit is not right. They're just not right. And here you are providing a force field around them from the things that they need so they can change. Now, I know this flies in the face of any religious doctrine or spiritual doctrine that some of you have probably been taught. And it really surprised me when Spirit told me about this. I went through a situation very recently where I was associated with someone for a while, and very recently I disconnected that from that person. And during that time, I kept that person in my prayers on a daily basis. But when I disconnected my association with that person after discovering some very disturbing things, I realized that during the whole time that I was praying for them, I was actually protecting them. And when I was protecting them, it was making them stronger in their foul ways. So sometimes you don't need to pray for some people. Sometimes they need to be open so they can be corrected, so they could be fixed, so they could be addressed, so Spirit can get to them, so Spirit can deal with them. I hope that makes sense. Yes, I know some of you saying, oh, well, that's being thrown to the wolves. Oh, that's you being vengeful. No, that's not the way I look at it, people. And I know you're doing it with a pure heart because you care about that person. But it's just clearly a situation where you simply just did not have enough information from the beginning based on what you were presented with. You were under the impression that this person was a certain way based on what you were given. And you thought, oh, well, I care about this person. I'm going to go ahead and pray for him because this is what is given to me. And this is what I think this person is about. So you let them into your world. You develop feelings for them. And because you're a spiritual person, you start including them in your prayers every day, in your prayers, in your meditation. Some of you have even asked other people that you know that are spiritually guided to keep them in your prayers. Keep them in their prayers. You know, some of you have probably asked them to keep them in the prayer circle, that type of thing. In the meantime, this protective barrier has kept them going, kept them from getting what they need in order to be corrected. You know, the good analogy, and I thought about this, have you ever seen that movie called Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2? And if you think about the movie, the character Bella had just become a new vampire. And if you ever watch the series, whenever a new vampire is born, aka born, they have a superpower. And in Bella's case, she had two superpowers. And one of them was strength, and the other one was she was a shield. And what she was is that she was a shield against other vampire superpowers. So if one vampire, let's say, had electric shock where she could shock anything and kill it, well, if that vampire attacked her, she wouldn't succumb to it. If another vampire had the ability to poison people with a vapor, then the vampire could attack Bella with the vapor and Bella wouldn't feel it. So what Bella had to do when it was time for them to engage in this huge battle, what Bella had to do is she had to learn how to project that shield for her loved ones so they could be protected in battle. And that's what it made me think about. When you pray for other people, what you're doing is you are projecting a protective shield around that person. So you got to be careful who you pray for. You got to make sure you know that person, where they are and what they're doing. And this goes back to say, people, you cannot change a person. You can hope in your mind and pray that Spirit does what they need to do. But the Creator has his or her own time clock. And the Creator only knows everything that's going on with that person prior to your encounter with them. You can hope things that'll change during the time that you meet them. And that's all you can do. Am I saying that miracles don't occur? I'm not saying that at all. There's a possibility. And that's all you can cross your fingers and hope for, is the possibility that things that may change. But they may not. And the Creator has the final say. So just when you choose to pray for a person, just make sure you've done your research. Make sure that you paid attention to the red flags, if there are any. See if there is any effort to change the behavior. See if there's any effort to adjust anything. If there is a problem or if there's any cause for concern, see if there's any strides to change the negative situations that exist. If there's any character flaws that are being addressed, anything that shows any progress towards a more positive outcome, any change. Because if there's not, and you know this person has no desire to move forward, then you're wasting your prayers. And we don't want to do that. Because there's so many people in this world right now who need somebody strong like you to pray for them. They need somebody to stand in the gap for them. All they need is that chance. And without that chance, they're not going to make it. So please keep that in mind. Don't waste your prayers. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Peace to you.